What's going on, guys? We are back at it. This is Full Court Talk. My name is Spencer. Go ahead and introduce yourself like usual.
What's up, guys? It's CJ. Been a while, but we're here.
And that was my fault. I had an
It's
exam last
okay.
week, had to study,
Yeah.
but we're back at it. We
Yeah.
have some pretty good topics this week. So the first topic is where do the Warriors go from here? Warriors are struggling, but they've been inconsistent. So we'll go ahead and talk about that.
Mhm.
The second topic, a little old now, but should the NBA logo be changed? And this was brought up by Kyrie Irving. And we're gonna get into that. And I'm pretty sure we know who we want it to be. But we'll see. The third topic: should all players and team staff members be required to receive the COVID-19 vaccine? That's gonna be an interesting one to talk about. And the fourth topic is: should something be done about the referees? As we know, a lot of bad calls have been handed out lately.
Yeah.
And the fifth topic, just talking about Last Chance U and that entire basketball season and how
Hmm.
phenomenal it was. So we'll get into all of that. But getting into the first topic, I'll let CJ go first because I got a lot to say. But where do the
Yeah.
Warriors go from here?
Well, like you said, they've been inconsistent, right? They've had some games where they should have won. It's a head scratcher. You're like, how do you lose to these type of teams? But when you came out with this topic, Spence, like this was before the game yesterday. And man, that game yesterday was very impressive, beating the
Yeah,
top team in the NBA, Utah. And it's also a head scratcher because like essentially the players that you guys had is the same players you guys like been having earlier this season, with the exception of, pulling Poole and Nico up, right?
yeah,
And I noticed that, they got more run. Um, I didn't watch the game, but from everybody that I was talking to with the Warriors, I have a lot of friends that are Warrior fans. Like Wanamaker wasn't playing as much, so I know that was very pleasing to everybody. It's kind of sad, man, because like how I feel about Kuzma is just me. But then when
yeah,
you talk about Wanamaker, bro, it's like the whole Warrior fan base, at least those who watch it. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So I feel kind of bad for the guy, but he did it to himself. So, but yeah, beating Utah, it's a very good win post AllStar break, especially after suffering that like loss against the Clippers. Nobody loves or nobody like. Man, I hate losing to the Clippers. I can only imagine how the Warrior fans feel. So yeah, it's a good win. The Warriors have been inconsistent, but they just need to build off the momentum that they got
Yeah,
beating this, good team. And it doesn't get any easier, with their schedule. Like for tonight, you guys play us.
yeah,
So like it's just building consistency in a time of like, you know, being not being sure how everything's gonna go. But I think with Steve Kerr, how they say Steph reads tweets during halftime? I'm pretty sure Steve Kerr reads tweets too, because you know what I mean? Like I feel like some of the things that he does it on purpose just to piss you guys off. You know
I
what I
feel
mean?
like that too.
Yeah, and like sometimes like he'll listen, like for example, he'll cut Wanamaker's minutes. And like, man, we've been talking about this. Pool and Nico deserve more minutes. One or the other, just not
Yeah,
Wanamaker, right? Just,
yeah,
cut the guy. And the last thing I'll say about it is I don't think you guys need to make a splash at the trade deadline. I would say, keep what you guys had and just build off of it. And the only way that I would want you guys to make a move is if you're getting more than what you're giving out.
yeah.
So it's like, second round pick or like cash considerations. But other than that, like I say you guys hold the ship steady, do
Yeah,
as best as you can, and then just build moving forward because, like I said, like you guys have been good teams. You guys are being the Clippers, you guys are being the Lakers, us, then the Jazz. It's just, getting over that hump and staying consistent. So yeah, so that's my thought on it.
yeah. Like the Warriors are right now, they're 20 and 19.
Yep.
Uh, they're over 500. Doesn't seem like it at times.
Yeah.
But they play the Lakers tonight, and they're playing in Oakland or in uh at the Chase Center.
Hmm.
Um, it should be a good game, even though the
Yep.
Lakers are missing Anthony Davis. Uh,
Yeah.
I know they're missing Marc Gasol and I
Yep.
think Caruso.
And our best
So
player, bro, Jared Dudley.
I heard he's like, what did
Yeah.
he hurt his knee, right?
He hurt his MCL. I don't even know how, but
Got up
yeah,
too fast, bro.
exactly. But yeah, no.
Yeah. I mean, they should win tonight. You know, with all things considered, coming off a really big win.
Mm,
But you never know. This Warriors team is incredibly inconsistent.
yeah.
But I think they're in a super difficult position. You can either choose to develop young talent like
Mm-hmm.
Wiseman, Poole, and Nico,
Mm-hmm.
or win games. You can't do both. You
Yep.
can't sit there and be like babysitting Wiseman every time.
Yeah.
Uh, and it looks like Kerr really hasn't figured out what he wants to do yet.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes he'll be tough love on Wiseman and not let him play, and
Yeah.
other games he'll be like, go out there for 40 minutes and play. So that's got to be frustrating to Wiseman
Yeah.
because he's out there to make a difference, and I know he can make a difference, like last night.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it's tough because I'm not sure where you go from here as
Yeah.
as a as a team. Like there's just so much on the table. You can't make a trade here because most likely Klay Thompson's going to come back next season.
Yeah.
You can't make a trade for anyone at the deadline because the players that you want are all guards, and it just creates like this big jumble of guards that you're going to have.
Exactly.
You get Bradley Beal. Okay, it's good for one season.
Mm-hmm.
Next season, Steph, Clay, and Beal, really short.
Mm-hmm.
And with Steph and Beal, probably not much defense. I don't know why people want Victor Oladipo. He's on an expiring contract.
Yeah.
He doesn't even want to be in Houston. What makes you think he wants to be in the Bay? He's said
Yeah.
like verbally he wants to go to Miami. So
Yep.
there's no point in trading anything for Oladipo.
Yep.
And even then, Oladipo is not a great fit, I feel like.
He's not. Yeah.
And I've seen people say trade for Drummond. Same thing. You don't need a Drummond. You have Wiseman.
Yeah.
Um, and both of them are on expiring contracts. So why would you break the bank for someone that's essentially a rent that could
Yeah.
maybe help us get to the second round? Probably not
Yeah.
worth it. But with that being said, I'd like to say I was right about Jordan Poole. There's a lot of people that hated on Jordan Poole because he played
Yep.
really bad through his first season
Mm-hmm.
and he struggled through the early parts of the season. But if you look in the G League, the dude can ball.
Yep.
And if you play him at point, he plays well.
Yep.
People didn't realize that, but just say I'm right. And
Yeah.
Nico looks really good. I think he looks really calm. He looks a lot more comfortable. I think
Exactly.
he's going to be a lot better than Brad
Yeah.
Wanamaker.
Yeah.
And it sucks because Wanamaker is a really good player, and his path to the NBA is really good. It's inspiring,
Yeah.
but he just couldn't put it together. They got him to be consistent. He was the most inconsistent part of our team. Uh,
Yeah.
there's no reason he should be. I think he was like top 5 in fourth quarter minutes.
Yeah.
Um, and
Shouldn't be like
Steph was like
that.
30th or something.
Yeah.
There's no way it should be like that.
Yeah.
But Steve Kerr is the coach, and he's gonna do what he wants.
True.
But at the end, I just want the Warriors to be competitive. You need to get your young
Yeah.
guys used to that competitive play because next season it's gonna be full on. If
Yeah.
Clay comes back healthy, you're looking at a really good roster. We
Yeah.
get Oubre back, he comes off our bench, even better. But we'll
Mm-hmm.
see. I just don't want any more blowouts. I am so tired of the blowouts. I'm
Yeah.
getting blown out by
Unless it's
30.
your unless it's in your favor,
Oh
obviously.
yeah, obviously. But I
Yeah.
mean, like against good teams, they crack.
Yeah.
Unless it's against, I guess, Utah, the Lakers, or Clippers.
Yeah.
But
Fair
you
enough.
know, we'll see. It's tough as a Warriors fan. I hate seeing the Warriors lose by 30, by
Yeah.
40. Um, it's tough, but we'll see. I'm excited for the rest of the season because I think the Warriors have one of the easier schedules now
Mm-hmm.
after this first portion.
Yep.
But we'll see. But to the next
Yeah.
topic. Should the NBA logo be changed? If so, who should it be? I'll let you go first.
I mean, it's the clear cut answer, bro. Kobe. You know what I mean? Which is crazy, right? Everybody would think like, oh, MJ, even Braun, but you know, there's no better way to honor Kobe than to make him the new face of basketball. You know, everybody, the whole world knows about the NBA. And so, Kobe was very global. See what he did overseas. So, like Kyrie said, like, not to put race into this, but Black Kings built the league. They really did. You know what I mean? After the expansion of the ABA and becoming a National Basketball Association, African Americans and people all over the country, not just from here, like obviously, European players, Asian players. And so, with that said, like Kobe was able to connect with everybody and anybody. And so like, I just think that he's a clear cut choice. He has a numerous amount of iconic pictures that could be the new logo. And, to tell you the truth, like, I don't even understand why it was Jerry West, because at the time there was other but better players than him, Bill Russell, Kareem, like I mean not Kareem, Wilt. It's just I don't know, but yeah, I think it's about time for a change. That logo has been around for quite some time, when people were still wearing Chucks to games. So I just think it's Kobe. So
Yeah, I totally agree. I think Kobe is the clear-cut answer.
yeah,
And I guarantee a lot of kids don't even know who Jerry West is. So
exactly.
let's update it, get a little, more with the times.
Yeah,
Um, and Jerry West even said that he's fine with changing the logo to Kobe. He loves
yeah,
Kobe. He got Kobe on the Lakers. So
exactly.
it
Yep.
makes sense to change it. Like you said,
Yeah,
Black Kings built the NBA, like Kyrie
yeah,
said. And it's
yep,
true. I want to know the
yeah,
statistics on white players in the NBA now. It's gotta be
yeah,
pretty low.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
it just makes sense. It's time. It's
Yeah,
been long enough to be for Jerry West, and it's not even like a for sure thing that it's Jerry West. It's like it's
yeah,
assumed to be Jerry West.
yeah. It could be
So
anybody.
it's literally just a guy running. So
Yeah,
it's time to change it. We just
yeah,
want to put this on here because it was a hot topic a week ago, and I'm sure it's going to be a hot topic going on from now. The
exactly.
logo needs to be changed after everything that happened with Kobe. But
Yep,
Kobe is one of the most popular players to ever play.
exactly.
He still is. Look at his shoes today that dropped. They go out in like 10 seconds.
Yeah, we
So
can't even win one, man.
win one to buy one too. It's not even
What?
a win one for free. It's a win one to buy one.
Exactly, bro.
It's
Man.
ridiculous, man.
Oh, yeah. But no, yeah, clear cut, bro. It's Kobe. It
Yeah.
should always be Kobe. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I just don't see anyone else that you could put there, especially
Yeah.
with it being a year already with his passing.
Yeah.
So I think it's just time. And I believe Adam Silver already shot down the idea. So
Which is crazy. Which is
hopefully they
crazy.
relook at it during the off season just to give
Yeah.
it some steam. Maybe the NBA Players Association does something about it.
Yeah.
Because I've heard some weird stuff about Jerry West, as we've talked about. Doesn't seem
Yeah.
like the cleanest dude anymore.
Yeah.
Um,
That's
but we'll
fair.
see. So, should all players and team staff members be required to receive the COVID-19 vaccine?
Mm.
I feel like you can't really force the players to get the vaccine, but
Yeah.
any player that wants to continue to play and not have that worry of getting COVID, they're gonna get the
Hmm.
vaccine.
Yeah.
Seems like a pretty much of a no-brainer to me. You get the chance
Yeah.
to get the vaccine, you're gonna get it.
Oh yeah.
Um, and I'm sure a majority of the players are gonna get it, no doubt. But I
Yeah.
know that there's gonna be some small group of players seem like, no, I'm not gonna get it. I know Dwight Howard is anti-vaccine.
Hmm.
I think Kuzma is a guy that's anti-vaccine. Michael Porter Jr. is also a guy that's probably anti-vaccine.
Yeah.
Um, and of course, there's going to be that small group. But if you can get a majority, like 85, 90% of the guys to get it,
That's good enough.
shouldn't be a problem. And especially, I think the problem is that even with the vaccine, you can still have the COVID particles, right?
Yeah.
So you could give it to a guy that didn't get the vaccine, but that's
Yeah.
on him for not getting it, right?
Yeah. And it
And
doesn't work immediately.
yeah,
Like like
exactly.
contrary to popular belief, if you get it, like that doesn't mean the next day you can just stop wearing masks.
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
to continue to wear until at least a majority of the population is vaccinated. And
Yeah.
even then, like, I kind of feel like masks are kind of here to stay, at least
Oh
for a
yeah,
while.
I know. I'm wearing it even after everything's over.
Looking
Yeah,
back at how it was,
yeah.
we were disgusting, right? Like
Yeah, exactly, man.
going to
Exactly.
like Disneyland, Disney World,
Yeah,
like there's people everywhere. We're never gonna have that. We shouldn't have that again after this
yeah.
whole thing.
Like even
Um,
Vegas parties, bro, in the pool. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's just
it's
unsanitary.
nasty. Just even going to a
Yeah,
public pool now just seems disgusting.
yeah, that's true.
But
So,
what do you think? Should all players be vaccinated?
well, you know what? For me, at the end of the day, it is their choice, right? But they got to think about it like this: like, if they want to keep playing with no halts, no pauses, then it's the best way to do it. From what I've read all over like the internet, which some may be true, some may be false, but the common denominator is that if you get it, it takes 2 to 4 weeks to actually take into full effect, even after your second dose. And one thing to also consider is that everybody's different when it comes to reacting to medicine. So Pfizer is the one that's been relatively successful in not having side effects. Moderna, once you get the second one, I heard that one is just like, your chest gets tight,
Yeah,
you get the chills and all that stuff. But Johnson and Johnson's always coming is also coming out with one. It's just a one dose. So I mean, with that said, as they continuously make improvements, especially starting with Johnson and Johnson, I think more players will do it.
yeah,
But ultimately, it's their choice. You know what I mean? As long as you're not out there looking reckless like MPJ, because you can be an anti-vaxxer but not voice your opinion like how he did.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Because like MPJ just made it seem like, oh, it doesn't exist at all.
yeah,
That's the message that he was trying to put out there. But if he would just say like, oh, like it definitely exists, but I don't think I'm going to be taking it just because I want to see how everything goes first. And they did say like 85% is good enough, right? So he could be part of that other percentage that doesn't take it. But if you're going to be an anti-vaxxer, just understand that play could be halted, and it won't be as bad as how they paused it last year. But it's just ultimately at the end of the day, it's their decision, and it should fall to that individual. They know what's at stake. They know well what could happen, but for the most part, the NBA season has been going on, and they've been going safe. There was a stretch where games were getting postponed left and right, which is terrible, right?
yeah,
But I feel like, knock on wood, we're turning the tide, and
yeah,
more games are, actually being scheduled, and less players are getting tested because, you look at Sham's Twitter, every time he reports it, it's like less than five all the time, sometimes
yeah,
zero.
yeah,
So they've been doing a good job, but it's crazy, right? Like, I know you brought up this topic, Spence, but like NBA players and like athletes in general, celebrities, they don't even like voice their opinion for the vaccine.
yeah,
Like you don't see anybody posting like, oh, they're getting vaccinated, with the exception of like Stephen A. Stephen A is the only like celebrity that I've seen that
yeah.
actually get the vaccine, but everybody else they haven't said anything about it. So it's kind of weird. But ultimately, like I said, the decision falls to that individual. So yeah, it's up to them.
Yeah, and I think, as you said, like there haven't been any games, knock on wood, being canceled as
Hmm.
of lately. Um, and as negative as I was about the All-Star break, I thought
Yeah,
they did a phenomenal job. Uh, there were no
yeah,
cases, no positive cases, and we'll briefly talk about it just because it happened.
yeah,
The All-Star game was great. I thought it was competitive. Um, I thought the three-point contest was intense.
bro, easily
It was.
the best,
It came
yeah,
down to
the
the last
best one.
shot. What more could you
Yep,
want? Uh,
yeah,
I never liked the skills challenge. I think it's
yeah,
incredibly boring. No one tries
yeah, exactly.
unless you're a big man. The big men actually tried. I'll give them.
They
I'll give
do.
them respect.
Yeah,
Uh, dunk contest was lame. I
it
felt.
was.
Uh, was it the worst? Probably not, because the worst
Yeah,
one was when John Wall and the East won. I don't
yeah,
remember when they teamed up.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
that was stupid. That freestyle dunk thing.
Yeah,
Stupid.
it was. It
Um,
was.
but overall, it was good. It was much better than I thought it was going to be. But what did you think about the All Star break?
I mean, honestly, yeah, the All-Star game was, to me, like, it was okay. I mean, the highlight was obviously, Steph is box office,
Yeah,
bro. honestly, like that's why a lot of people tuned in. He's box office, and like seeing him and Dame pull up from like half court with ease
Yeah.
was just insane. It just shows how much range these guys got. But like, I feel like all of them were holding back because they know like they still got the rest of the season.
Yeah.
I mean, what LeBron had like 4 points. He'd even try to push for MVP.
Yeah.
It wasn't like last year. And then like, I feel like Giannis was the only one like really like trying and having fun. He had 100% from the field, but which is crazy, right? He was hitting step back threes too.
Yeah.
But easy, like I said, the 3-point contest was the best event out of the whole weekend. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It was intense. Credit Mike Conley, bro. There was a time where I thought, man, okay, I don't know, man. He might get upset. Steph might get upset, but because that first round that Steph had was phenomenal, bro.
31, bro.
31. It wasn't even touching the net. You
No,
know what I
it
mean? The
wasn't
net
even
wasn't moving.
moving.
And so it's crazy because he got in a row like that. But like I forgot who said it, but I think it was Reggie Miller. He was like, "Oh, you need to put pressure on Steph, just so that he could like, oh, okay, I could actually lose." And I think that's what Mike Conley did because Mike Conley went on a roll that second round.
Yeah.
But bro, it's Steph. There's no way he was losing unless Clay was the other shooter.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro, that was easily like the best 3-point contest I've seen since Steph and Clay went at it. But yeah, like the dunk contest, my guy Cassius got robbed, bro. I mean, it was boring,
Yeah.
but that first dunk, I think people think that it was lame or it
It
was
was the
basic,
same
but
leg jump, right?
yeah, same. You
People
know
don't
how
know the
hard that is?
difficulty.
Yeah,
To
that's
bring up the one
hard.
you jumped off
Yeah,
of, bring it up and dunk.
yeah.
Yeah, that's not
They weren't
easy.
paying attention, in my opinion, and like he got robbed because I feel like his confidence got like altered after that. They were like,
Yeah.
"Wow, like they gave that much for this dunk," and so he couldn't really do it properly because, bro, Cassius got stupid bounce, like it's
Oh yeah.
crazy,
Yeah.
And so like I just felt bad, but yeah, the All-Star game, like I was really glad that Julius Randle was there, Zach
Yeah.
Levine, Jalen Brown, those guys really deserved it. And so yeah, like you're right. Like I honestly thought it wasn't going to be as fun, but it was still, very exciting and like no positive COVID tests, even with everybody's families there. Cause you know how many players brought their families, which is
Yeah.
crazy. They were able to do it. And like everybody was, on the same page. So yeah, it was, a good All-Star weekend considering, the current circumstances.
I'm gonna assume that they keep it like this and they put it all into one night.
Yeah.
I think the players liked it because they don't have to be here on Saturday
Hmm.
and then here on Sunday. They just get one day where you can just go all out, finish up, go on
Yeah.
break.
Hmm. Agreed.
But going on to the next topic after the All-Star break, something pretty negative. So should something be done about the referees?
Man.
So as we
Oh
know,
man.
referees are human, believe it or not.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
make a lot of mistakes. I mean, they make mistakes. Um, and referees have been pretty bad lately. They've been really soft. They have
Hmm.
been calling tees that aren't tees. We saw Nick
Yep.
Nurse the other night I think he got ejected after that tee, but he was
Yeah.
looking at Mark Davis, and Mark Davis was like, "No, I'm not having it." Teed him up.
Hmm.
And Mark Davis has been one of those referees that has been really bad lately,
Oh, I agree.
and it's
I
bad.
agree.
Like I never used to learn referees' names, just because I didn't care. Not
Who
gonna lie.
cares, right?
And then recently, like I've been learning their names. Mark Davis is really bad. I
Yeah.
know there's a bunch of other ones, but Mark Davis is the only the one that sticks out to me that I know if he's reffing a game, most
Yeah.
likely it's going to be a long game because he's either going to call a lot of fouls and
Yeah.
throw momentum or tee players up for no reason. Um, but uh, it's becoming increasingly noticeable that referees are having more of a problem lately, being soft. Um, and I don't know if you heard what Matt Barnes had to say. It was on a NBC radio show. He called in, or they had him
Yeah.
say something about the referees, and he
Yeah.
said that he wants referees to be held accountable. Um,
Agreed. Yeah.
so how player stats are released after games, he wants ref stats released after games. So you could do something like good and bad calls percentage wise, neutral calls, even just something.
Yeah.
And that 2 minute report, the last 2 minute report, after each game where there's some like really bad call, it's like a
Yeah.
slap in the face of the losing team because like, yeah, we fucked up, but here you can still have the L. It's like,
Yeah.
what does that do? It does nothing.
Hmm.
Um, but at the end of the day, refs need to be held accountable because right now they fuck up and it's like, we'll get on the next one.
Yeah.
And it's not always like that. Like with Trey Young flopping, that was a good call to not
Yeah.
call it. Um, but there's also the time where Draymond gets double teed and the game's over after that.
Yeah. Exactly.
Rightfully so that he gets teed up, but you could de-escalate the situation instead of like just looking at him, yelling at him, and then escalating the situation.
Yeah.
That's me as a Warriors fan trying to get the win, but I think there's a lot of other people that feel that way with their teams.
Yeah. Exactly.
Um, but I think as soon as the refs are announced on TV, you put their good versus bad calls and have their stats right there because you need to be ready for what kind of game it's going to be if you see that certain ref.
Yeah.
But what do you think?
I mean, honestly, bro, the most simple way to put it is that they're weak.
Oh yeah,
Refs nowadays, they're weak. Men and women alike. It's not just the men. It's not just the women. It's both of them. It's not even a gender thing because like these refs, like they're calling some of the weakest fouls I've ever seen. And obviously, like a lot of people are saying, like, oh, like you guys want it to go back to the '90s where they're like punching each other or like hard fouls and all that stuff. No blood or no foul, no blood, all that stuff. No, it's not. It's not supposed to be like that. It's just you got to call it both ways and be like disciplined with your whistle. And like you said, like referees are human, so I know they make mistakes, but sometimes like I feel like them trying to assert their authority is backfiring.
yeah,
Like for example, like with Draymond, right? Like you obviously know the kind of player that Draymond is. He's emotional, demonstrative, and like he's gonna get in other players' faces if he's doing well, right? If I'm a ref, I'm talking to him just straight up like, hey, you don't got to do all that. Just play the game the right way. I'll warn him. You know, who knows? Maybe they are warning the players, but from what we see on TV, it's just like they're not even like doing any of that anymore. It's just one thing, boom, T.
yeah,
And I get it. They want to deter any other possible like situations, but by doing that, it's just becoming more negative because like more players are saying like, hey, like like these guys are no mercy. They're just letting him. Just you get a T, you get a T. Bro, like before the AllStar break, Trez, he got an N1. He yelled N1,
yeah,
and like one of the women refs like teed him up, and it's just not her. Like it happens everywhere. You know what I mean? Like with other refs, but what doesn't happen is that you getting teed up for yelling N1. Because bro, if that's the case, you know how many technical fouls there'd be per game?
yeah,
Everybody's yelling N1, and like maybe Trez intimidated her. I don't know. I don't really see where he was looking at, but bro, it's like a natural reaction to yell N1 when you're playing a game.
yeah,
It's just how it is. Everybody does it. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure some of these girl refs that they play, they be yelling N1 too. But another situation I want to highlight is Donovan Mitchell and the Jazz losing to the Sixers. Right, this all happened right before AllStar break. He was right to criticize the refs for once. They had a chance to win it, and then soon, like down the line, like the refs were just in their feelings and called calls against them, and so it ended up costing them the game. You could argue that they shouldn't have let it get to that point, but refs will be refs. You
yeah.
know what I mean? And it's kind of tricky because like, would you rather have these kind of refs or the refs back in the early 2000s who were selling games, right? But at the end of the day, like you said, like they need to be held accountable
Yeah.
because I feel like refs are, some of them are cool, some of them are not. But at the end of the day, they have a power trip. You know what I mean? Because they know
Yeah.
whatever they say goes. Like you could just go up to them and complain, but they're gonna be like, I already called I blew the whistle. And even if they do, their replay, where they want to review the call, only one time thing. And I think the
Yeah.
NBA got to look at that too,
Yeah.
because with Van Gundy, when he says like, oh, like if you get if you challenge a call and you get it right, I say you don't lose a timeout and you keep that challenge, which is
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
I agree. And if if the NBA doesn't want to hold refs accountable, then they should have more replays, more challenges,
Yeah.
like just to make things better. But yeah, like you said about Trey and Luca and all these other floppers, like yeah, you would need these kind of refs for those players because they know that they can, bait and get the call. But that doesn't have to be applied to everybody because not everybody's like that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, yeah, refs definitely need to be held accountable, bro.
Yeah. And I think it's a tough situation, but
Yeah,
there's something that can be done about it. It's just like, is the
yeah,
NBA willing to admit that there's a problem? So
yep,
far, it doesn't seem like it, but we'll see what happens, and like
yeah.
that with that Trez N1, didn't that lose the game for them because they lost by one?
They did lose by one.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you're right. You
And
are right.
bro, those staring tees, like
Yeah,
that's soft.
it
you
is.
know,
It is.
we saw
I
Sean
mean,
Kemp point at a Warriors player after he dunked on him. No tee.
no T.
It's a celebration. Let it
Yeah,
happen. But
bro. Like yesterday, Jackson Hayes, he yammed on Reggie
and then he
Jackson.
went like this,
And
and he got
he
a
went like
tee.
this, and he got a T, bro. I mean, yeah, he looked at him, like he stared him down, and he did this, but like it wasn't even towards the ref. It's
It's
like,
towards the other player.
yeah, and by doing that, like I get it, like you don't want situations to arise and get heated, but you're taking the emotion away from the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like you're not letting players express themselves. And it's just like, bro, like how come you don't get teed up when you do too small? Or
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Well,
Like
the
you don't get teed
rocking
up
the baby.
for rocking the baby. Exactly, bro. But it's just these refs, like an example of a tee that was justifiable. It was yesterday as well when Kyle Lowry threw the ball and it didn't hit the ref, but you could tell the intention was there.
Yeah.
So that right there, I respect it. But like these other tees that they're calling, bro, like to deter any situations, I don't think it's fair.
Yeah.
Killing the
And
game momentum too.
I think like I guess we were kind of it was bound to happen, right? There's no
Yeah,
fans, there's no sound.
yeah,
So it makes sense why there's more T's is that the refs can hear everything now.
yeah. When
If
you're
you say
cussing,
if you say anything, they're gonna hear it. So if you say a subtle
yeah,
like "fuck you, man,"
yeah.
they'll be like, okay, T, and
T,
that could be what it is,
yeah,
but we just can't hear it because they put that fake noise,
yeah,
bro. It pisses me
yeah,
off.
yeah.
It's so loud.
It
Anyways,
is. Yeah,
um, but that could be why they're teeing up so many players. We don't know that,
true,
but
true.
from our standpoint, it looks really bad. Some of the calls they're
Yeah,
making are really bad.
yeah. Agreed.
I hope they do something about it during the season because
Yep.
if I go through a playoff game and seeing like, I don't think LeBron would get teed up because he never gets teed up. But if Anthony Davis gets ejected for something stupid and it loses the Lakers game, like you'd be pissed.
Exactly.
Everyone would be pissed because you're taking away from a great matchup.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But so something should definitely be done. We'll see if they do anything. But the last thing we want to talk about, Last Chance U, the basketball season at East LA Community College.
Yep.
Um, I thought it was fantastic. Uh,
Yeah.
I finished it in 2 days, so like 4 episodes one day,
Yeah.
like 2 o'clock in the morning. Then the next morning I finished it.
Yeah.
Uh, it was insanely good. And if
Yeah.
you ever have time to watch it, for sure watch it. If you love basketball, watch it. It is
Yeah.
so good. But what did
Yeah.
you think?
Oh man, it was great. Like one of the best, if not the best, documentary I've seen since more than a game with LeBron.
Yeah,
Um, bro, like this is everything that I could ever want in a documentary. Like I was telling you earlier, Spence, like you root for these guys, you want them to win.
yeah,
I want them to get somewhere, and like I just felt bad because of the things that they weren't able to accomplish. But at the same time, like watching them, like I don't want no spoilers, but watching them do what they do is just like very inspirational. You know what I mean? And like you'll for those that are gonna watch it, you'll see and get to know each player, and you're not gonna like it at first, but I promise you, just stick with it. Like it gets better, like guaranteed. And like honestly, I never really checked out Last Chance U, like I was telling Spencer. It's just because The first couple seasons were just for football. I don't have any interest in football. I don't know the game, but after watching Last Chance U basketball, I'm willing to give the football a try because this was just so well done, and I really hope that there's another season, either for East LA Community College or for another basketball powerhouse or basketball team. Like I'm definitely looking forward to watching it. Like it was just so good, and shout out to them, for what they did and what they were able to
Yeah.
accomplish. So yeah.
I think they should go to Mission College. Um,
Yeah, check out the basketball classes, every morning.
hey, we were pretty good, bro.
Yeah, we were good. We were out there. But also I want to say this. I really hope that at least like most of these guys can make it to the league, even the G League or even
Yeah.
overseas.
Yeah.
I want them to succeed. But I also want to say like, I'm wearing this Duke shirt because I'm sad. They didn't go to the tournament. So I'm
And
by
it
association.
was a COVID test, right? That's what held them out.
Yeah, that held them out, and they were peaking at the right time. But I get it. Duke wasn't really good this season, but with them out, I just want to give a shout out to Gonzaga. Please win. I'm rooting for you guys, man. Gonzaga, Jalen Suggs.
Yep.
Oh man,
Future Warrior.
future warrior, bro. Him or Cade, right? Taking anybody.
Honestly, this one, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, bro. But yeah, hey, if you guys honestly like, if you have a chance, like Spencer said, check it out. Last Chance U basketball on Netflix.
Even if you don't like basketball, check it
Yeah,
out. They really get you to care about these guys, even if you don't know anything about basketball.
yeah. Even if you're like me, you're the opposite. You love football but don't know anything about basketball. Check it out. Still,
It
it's
was
a good. It's a good
I
one.
thought they did a great job of transitioning from football to basketball. Like you haven't seen it yet, but I think they did a great job.
Oh yeah, check out their Spotify playlist too. The soundtrack was on
Oh,
point.
it was actually really good too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep, exactly.
But that's gonna do it for us today.
Yeah,
That's our 35th podcast.
KD.
We're getting up there. That's the KD Matters, the KD podcast.
Yeah,
But check us out in the description below. Our
yeah.
social media is there. But check out my website, fullcourttalk.com. Like, comment, and subscribe. But that's gonna do it for us. Catch you guys in the next one.